The way we think determines the way we live. Our thoughts shape our attitudes, our decisions, and ultimately our destinies. If we want to walk in victory, we must first win the battle in our minds. Too often people allow negative thoughts to dominate their thinking. They replay their mistakes, dwell on their shortcomings, and focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible. But if we want to experience the fullness of what God has for us, we must renew our minds and replace negative self-talk with faith-filled affirmations. The Bible tells us in Romans 12:02, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This means that change begins from the inside out. If we want to live in victory, we must first think in victory. If we want to walk in success, we must believe that success is possible. The problem is, many people have programmed themselves with thoughts of defeat. They've told themselves for years, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, nothing ever works out for me. Those thoughts have created a pattern in their minds, and now without even realizing it, they are speaking and living out those beliefs. But here's the good news. We don't have to stay stuck in that mindset. We have the power to reprogram our thinking. Instead of focusing on what we can't do, we can start declaring what God says about us. Instead of dwelling on past failures, we can remind ourselves that God is a God of new beginnings. It all starts with the words we speak to ourselves. If we constantly say, I'm not smart enough, we will limit our potential. But if we declare, I have the mind of Christ, I am filled with wisdom and creativity, we will begin to see growth and breakthroughs. One of the biggest traps of negative thinking is comparison. Too often, people look at others and think they are more talented, they are more successful, they have more opportunities. But God didn't create us to be like someone else. He created us to fulfill our own unique purpose. When we renew our minds and stop comparing ourselves, we can walk confidently in our calling. Renewing the mind is not a one-time event. It's a daily process. Just like we feed our bodies with food every day, we must feed our minds with truth. That means being intentional about what we allow into our thoughts. If we constantly consume negativity, whether from the news, social media, or toxic conversations, our minds will be filled with doubt and fear. But when we fill our minds with God's promises, with positive declarations, and with faith-filled words, we will begin to see transformation in every area of our lives. Today, make a decision to guard your thoughts and replace every negative belief with words of faith. Speak life over yourself. Declare, I am blessed, I am capable, I am favored, I have everything I need to succeed. When you renew your mind daily, you will begin to see doors open, opportunities arise, and victory manifest in ways you never imagined. Every challenge we face presents us with two choices. We can either magnify the problem or magnify the power of God. Too often, people get stuck in difficult situations because they focus only on what's wrong, what's missing, or how impossible things seem. They keep repeating phrases like, this is too hard, I'll never get through this, or nothing ever works out for me. But the more we dwell on our problems, the bigger they become in our minds. Instead of speaking defeat, we need to start speaking life into our challenges. The Bible tells us in Mark 11:23, truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, go, throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart, but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Notice that Jesus didn't say to talk about the mountain. He said to speak to the mountain. That means we are not supposed to constantly discuss how big our problems are. We are supposed to declare that they must move. This principle applies to every area of life. If you're struggling in your studies, don't keep saying, I'll never understand this. Instead, declare, I have the mind of Christ. I have wisdom and understanding. I can learn anything I set my mind to. If your finances are tight, don't keep saying, I'll always be in debt. Declare, God is my provider. He is bringing new opportunities my way. I will have more than enough. If you're battling sickness, don't keep repeating the negative report. Speak healing. Say, by His stripes I am healed. My body is strong and whole. One of the greatest examples of this is in the story of Ezekiel in the Valley of Dry Bones. In Ezekiel 37, God took the prophet to a valley filled with dry bones and asked him, "Can these bones live?" Ezekiel didn't look at the situation and say it's hopeless. Instead, he followed God's instructions and began to speak life into the bones. As he prophesied, the bones came together, flesh covered them, and breath entered them. They became a mighty army. The situation looked impossible. But when Ezekiel spoke life, everything changed. You may have areas in your life that seem lifeless right now. Maybe your dreams feel like they have dried up, your relationships are struggling, or your confidence has been shaken. But just like Ezekiel, you have the power to speak life. Instead of agreeing with defeat, start declaring God's promises. Say, "I will fulfill my purpose. I will accomplish my dreams. My relationships will be restored. My future is bright." This is not just about positive thinking. It's about aligning your words with faith. The more you speak life, the more your circumstances will begin to shift. When you declare victory over challenges, you invite God's power to work on your behalf. No matter what obstacles you face, don't magnify the problem. Magnify God's ability to bring you through. Speak life and watch how things begin to change. The words we consistently speak shape the direction of our lives. Just as a small rudder steers a large ship, our words act as a guiding force, leading us toward either success or failure, victory or defeat. If we want to live a life of victory, we must not only speak words of faith occasionally, but make it a daily habit. The key is consistency, continuing to declare words of hope, strength, and success, even when we don't see immediate results. Many people start out speaking positively but give up too soon. They declare, "I am blessed," "I am strong," or "my situation is turning around," but when things don't change right away, they go back to their old way of speaking. They allow doubt and frustration to creep in, saying things like, "Maybe this isn't meant to be," or "Things will never change for me." What they don't realize is that breakthrough often comes to those who are persistent. The Bible gives us a powerful example of persistence. In Joshua 6, God told the Israelites to march around the walls of Jericho for 7 days, declaring victory before they saw any results. For 6 days, nothing happened. They didn't see a single brick fall. But on the 7th day, when they continued obeying and declaring victory, the walls came crashing down. What if they had stopped on the 6th day? What if they had let doubt cause them to give up? They would have missed their victory. The same principle applies to us today. Just because you don't see immediate change doesn't mean your words aren't working. When a seed is planted, it takes time to grow. You don't see the roots forming underground, but something is happening beneath the surface. In the same way, when you consistently speak words of victory, you may not see results right away, but in the spiritual realm, things are shifting in your favor. This is why consistency is so important. You can't declare faith one day and doubt the next. If you keep speaking defeat, you uproot the seeds of victory that you planted. That's why the Bible tells us in Galatians 6:9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The key phrase here is "if we do not give up." That means your breakthrough is coming if you stay consistent. Make it a daily habit to speak words of life over yourself. When you wake up, declare, "Today is going to be a great day. I am strong, I am healthy, I am favored." Before you step into a challenge, say, "I have the wisdom and ability to succeed." When you face setbacks, declare, "This is only temporary. God is working everything out for my good." When you keep speaking victory day after day, you will begin to see doors open, obstacles removed, and blessings overflow in your life. Stay consistent. Keep declaring God's promises and watch as He brings everything to pass in His perfect timing. The words we speak have incredible power. They can either lift us up or bring us down, push us forward or hold us back. When we choose to speak victory, we are aligning ourselves with God's promises and inviting His power into our lives. It's not about ignoring challenges, but about declaring that God is greater than any obstacle we face. We must be intentional about the words we say, making sure they reflect faith and not fear, possibility and not limitation. Speaking victory is not a one-time event, it's a daily habit. Even when circumstances don't immediately change, we must continue declaring God's promises, knowing that our words are planting seeds of success, healing, and breakthrough. Just like Abraham, David, Joshua, and Ezekiel, we must believe in the power of our declarations. When we renew our minds, replace negative thoughts with words of faith, and stay consistent in speaking life, we set ourselves up for the extraordinary. Challenges may come, but they don't have the final say. God does. And He has already declared victory over our lives. So today, make the decision to keep speaking victory. Speak life into your dreams, strength into your challenges, and faith into your future. When you do, you will see doors open, obstacles removed, and blessings chase you down. Your words are shaping your destiny. So speak victory and walk into the abundant life that God has in store for you.